Let's explore the story further now and speak to City Power spokesperson Isaac Mangena, who's joining us live now. Isaac, certainly, some disturbing visuals coming through from Alexandra as you have been there as City Power throughout the course of the day. But this certainly means that a significant number of residents are not paying for electricity, and certainly this impacts your coffers.
Good afternoon. And good afternoon to the viewers. Yes, indeed, this is something that we are worried about. The fact that a lot of people, especially in areas like Alexandra, are not contributing to the losses that they are not contributing to the revenue that is needed to basically ensure that we maintain the infrastructure, that we have material available every time we need to replace cables or even transformers. And we are starting to move in these areas so that we can be able to get these people to start paying. Last year, if I was talking to you last year at this time, only 4% of the people of Alexandra used to pay for electricity, and this financial year, we are sitting at least 11%, and this is after some of the measures that we have taken as City Power to ensure that we actually put a lot of meters in most of the residential areas so that people can start buying electricity. And most of these people actually are saying they want to buy electricity, they want to be on the grid, they want to make sure that they also contribute towards some of the losses that we are suffering. And that is encouraging, and we're working with councillors to that effect. But
why are they not on the grid then, if that's what they want?
So you've got two parts of customers. So you've got those that are formalized, but they've got issues like your meters were vandalized or meters were bypassed and so forth. Those ones we have made a call to them that they need to basically come forward so that we can come and replace these meters for free for now. But in future, we'll basically do this at a fee. And then you also have those that are illegally connected, so they're not supposed to be on the grid. Talks to the ones like the ones that you're playing with the story in Alexandra, where we're doing operation today. An informal settlement, they are not on the grid. They've made efforts to be included on the grid, but the issue is that they are supposed to basically go to housing, and housing proclaim the area as not belonging to a private individual, not earmarked for any government development, or even environmental hazard. But what we know is that where they're seated now, apparently that is a dolomitic area, or there's an environmental hazard that area. Secondly, they're built under electricity pipelines. So you've got transmission lines, 8,000 volts carried in those transmission lines of electricity, both City Power and ESCOM lines, where they are basically built under those lines. That is dangerous. Should those lines fall, we will be talking serious disaster in that area.
Yeah, it's very dangerous. It sounds like a ticking time bomb, Isaac. And one wonders, do you as City Power then maybe see the need of also getting law enforcement involved here? Because it's one thing to cut the cables and to keep going back to cut off the cables, but it's another to now ensure that it doesn't happen again.
Look, I think you can appreciate that we are really overwhelmed by the number of informal settlements in the city of Johannesburg, those that are stealing electricity. We are sitting at about 320 informal settlements across the city of Johannesburg. Most of those are not connected legally to the grid. The solution for us, and it will work in City Power favor, we've been saying this, that if we can be able to electrify all of those, that will be good for us, because at least there will be some revenue that we get, but also we know we can take stock of the amount of electricity that we need to invest in to distribute to these people. Yeah. So we are working with housing so that they can at least start to proclaim most of these areas, but also budgets are a problem, because every time we make a wish list to councils to say we want to electrify so and so number of informal settlements, we always get reduced. This financial year, we will only be electrifying about 4 of those. The rest we are not going to be able to do this. But this, because of the attractiveness of Joburg, you'll find that by next year this time we probably will have double the number of informal settlements that I'm talking to you. That talks to the social problem of housing that we are facing, but also it talks to the solution that not only lies with City Power, but it lies with many other departments that we have been talking to.
And it sounds like, it's still a long way to go then, Isaac, to be able to find a solution. And I ask this because, you think about load reduction, which is also meant to alleviate the pressure from the system itself. So if you then are not able to move with speed in order to be able to try and resolve the issue of illegal connections, those who are paying for electricity are actually getting impacted by this load reduction, which it's not essentially their fault.
You are correct. If I can tell you, about 60% of the load that we are losing is basically going towards the electricity theft, those that are illegally connected on the system. And as you know, obviously, if you are not paying for something, you will abuse it. You wouldn't even feel when that you need to basically switch off some heaters. You have about 6 heaters in each room. In your house, because you know that you're not paying for that. But when you pay for it, you'll basically take a care in terms of how you're using that electricity. And I think that is where the problem is really. But what we are doing now with this cut-off, we're basically trying to ensure that we reduce that impact that is there on those paying customers. If you look at where we were today, on the other side, you've got customers in a school, primary school, that are actually using this electricity, which half the time they don't get because of the other guys on the other side of the road are actually tapping into their line, which means that it creates overloading of that network. The mini substations blow up, and the vandalism on its own is problematic because now you've got the currents, the higher or lower than normal currents in that network. So that is the problem that we're having, and this is one that we really are struggling to basically contain because of, as I mentioned, this informal settlements keep on mushrooming. Every day you see new informal settlement on the side of the road, and that is where the problem is.
It does sound like a mammoth task, Isaac, and a catch-22, for City Power. And I suppose maybe you might now need to look to other forms of assistance, because you are overwhelmed, around 320 informal settlements, and you are not even going to be able to deal effectively with the issue of illegal connections, because when you cut off here, they come back again. You do it in all these other informal settlements. So what becomes the long-term strategy?
The long-term strategy, and I'm glad that we have the provincial government under the leadership of Premier Vandalism coming on board to really assist not only the city of Johannesburg, but even other municipalities in terms of dealing with these problems of electricity theft. Also to ensure that every person is electrified, whether through the traditional electricity, the wires, or through other energy alternatives that are available. And we've already done that as City Power. You'll remember that we have started electrifying some of the informal settlements where we are not able to raise funds to pull in the cables and install electricity. We've actually done the microgrids. Even in Alexandra, we have a place called Amarasteni. SABC was there basically covering the story when we're basically switching on. Those people have never had electricity, and they are not even going to have electricity anytime soon. But currently, at least they've got solar and battery storage that are actually assisting. We're hoping to roll out to 14 other informal settlements across the city. At least that will assist us in terms of shielding the little amount of electricity that we have, and we can basically move a step away from load reduction, as we put it. But we also think that there's an element of lawlessness. There's an element of lawlessness where you find that there are syndicates that are selling this electricity. So the area that we come from, you find that there's a person who actually is charging people for the theft of this electricity. They pay 200 rand. We know this in percent we used to have that kind of a problem, but even in other informal settlements, you've got people. So we've told the law enforcement to say you need to basically start moving in and make sure that you arrest those that are actually leading these syndicates that are stealing electricity.
Yeah, let's see if it does help. Isaac, as you say, it's overwhelming for City Power, and listening to this picture you are painting now, there does need to be urgent intervention that is seemingly needed there. Thank you so much for your time. That was City Power spokesperson Isaac Mangena.